One cold autumn night, under a canopy of stars, I gazed at the constellations. Among them was the Sagittarius, its archer poised mid-flight, aiming at some invisible truth beyond human sight. It felt symbolic of the moment I was in, lost in questions about meaning, purpose, and my place in the universe. That night, I realized something. Sagittarius isn't just a constellation or a zodiac sign. It's an ancient, universal archetype. It is the symbol of humanity's restless, unyielding quest for understanding, both outward and inward. Today, we unravel the Sagittarius archetype, a tale of mythology, psychology, and the timeless human spirit. Prepare to embark on a journey of discovery that transcends the stars. Sagittarius, a journey into the eternal seeker within us all. The ancient roots of Sagittarius. The story of Sagittarius begins in the ancient world, where early civilizations gazed at the stars to make sense of the cosmos. For the Sumerians, Sagittarius was associated with Nergal, the god of war and destruction, a figure of both chaos and transformation. This early connection hints at a profound truth. Sagittarius is not only about seeking, it is about evolving through struggle. Later, the Babylonians linked Sagittarius to agricultural cycles and celestial rhythms, tying the constellation to humanity's survival and growth. Observing the heavens became a way to navigate the unpredictable forces of life. But it was the Greeks who solidified Sagittarius's enduring image as the archer, a centaur, torn between human intellect and animal instinct. The centaur represents a duality that resonates deeply with us. Are we creatures of the earth, or are we destined for the stars? Among the centaurs, one figure towers above the rest: Chiron. Unlike his untamed brethren, Chiron was a healer and teacher, a paradoxical figure both wild and wise. According to myth, Chiron was struck by a poisoned arrow and suffered an unhealable wound. Yet, his pain gave birth to his wisdom, teaching others how to heal even as he carried his own suffering. Chiron, the wounded healer, a symbol of wisdom born of pain. Chiron's story poses a profound question: could it be that our deepest wounds are not meant to be erased, but embraced as the source of our greatest wisdom? The centaur's duality, instinct versus intellect. The image of the centaur, a creature caught between human and animal, perfectly encapsulates the tension within us all. Sagittarius is not a simple figure of exploration. It is a battleground between instinct and intellect, desire and discipline. The horse half of the centaur symbolizes primal forces: survival, lust, fear, and unbridled passion. It is the wild energy that drives us forward, but can also lead us astray. The human half, in contrast, represents reason, creativity, and the aspiration to rise above base instincts. If you want to be an expert archer, you must shoot before you think. Otherwise it will be too late. You do not aim and then shoot, it's all one action. You have to act and decide simultaneously. Esoteric traditions emphasize this duality, teaching that the goal is not to suppress our instincts but to master and channel them. Imagine the archer. They must harness the raw power of the bowstring. But without focus and balance, the arrow will miss its mark. In Jungian therapy, symbols like the bow and arrow become tools for self-reflection. The tension of the bow mirrors the tension within us, the push and pull between our desires and our reality. Through this lens, Sagittarius teaches us that growth comes not from avoiding this tension but from mastering it. True mastery lies in transforming instinct into purpose. This duality is not a flaw, it is the essence of being human. Our struggle to reconcile these forces is what propels us to grow. The Centaur asks us, in your life, are you the rider of your instincts, or have they taken the reins? The archer's aim, a metaphor for growth. The archer's bow and arrow are among the most potent symbols in the Sagittarius archetype. They represent not only aspiration but the focus and discipline required to achieve it. To draw the bow is to gather strength, to hold tension, and to align yourself with your target. In Jungian psychology, this process mirrors individuation, the lifelong journey to integrate all aspects of the self into a unified whole. The arrow's flight is not simply about reaching a destination, it is about the courage to set a course and the resilience to adjust when the winds of life shift. But here's the paradox. The same fire that propels the arrow can also burn the archer. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, is known for its boundless optimism and thirst for knowledge. Yet, this boundlessness can become recklessness, and like fire, if left unchecked, can burn. Sagittarius must learn to balance its energy with grounded wisdom. The Centaur's dual nature, instinct and intellect, reminds us of the importance of harmony. The arrow cannot fly straight unless the bow is held steady. Are you aiming your arrows with intention, or are they flying wildly into the unknown? To aim true, the archer must first understand themselves. Only then can they align their desires with their deeper purpose. The ninth sphere. Sagittarius in esoteric thought. In Kabbalistic traditions, Sagittarius is linked to Yesod, the foundation of the tree of life. Yesod represents the subconscious mind, the wellspring of creativity, emotion, and hidden truths. The seeker's journey often begins here, in the shadowy recesses of the self. To move forward, they must confront what lies buried: fears, desires, and unresolved traumas. The archer's task is to navigate this inner labyrinth, extracting wisdom from the darkness. Esoteric teachings describe this as the path of self-realization, where the seeker learns to transmute raw emotional energy into spiritual illumination. This is not an intellectual exercise but an experiential process, often described as being struck by the lightning of truth. The path is not easy, it demands courage, discipline, and a willingness to face the truth. The light of truth is born in the depths of the subconscious. From shadow explorer to seeker, a path to transformation. Chiron's unhealable wound represents the pain we all carry, the parts of ourselves we wish to hide or forget. But his story holds a deeper lesson. Our wounds are not our weakness, they are the crucible of our transformation. The key lies in how we confront and integrate them. In Jungian psychology, the concept of the shadow describes the aspects of ourselves we deny. Our fears, failures, and repressed desires. Yet, within this shadow lies immense power. By facing it, we reclaim lost parts of our true self. Sagittarius, ever the optimist, is uniquely suited to this task. Their adventurous spirit equips them to venture into the dark recesses of their psyche, emerging with newfound clarity and strength. What wounds do you carry that could become your greatest teachers? But every light casts a shadow. While Sagittarius inspires with their fiery optimism and expansive view of the world, they are not immune to the pitfalls of their own archetype. The archer's shadows can take many forms: recklessness, impatience, and an insatiable drive for more that risks leaving them perpetually unsatisfied. This is where the shadow explorer emerges, a force deeply tied to the Sagittarius archetype. When the explorer energy is repressed, it projects onto the ego in destructive ways. Instead of seeking wisdom and growth, the restless archer may chase fleeting thrills, addictions, reckless ambitions, or dangerous behaviors, to escape the monotony of life. The explorer archetype becomes a shadow when its need for fulfillment is ignored, leading to a life driven by fear of missing out rather than true purpose. Repressed explorer energy can manifest in restlessness, agitation, and a constant need for change. It creates a paradox. While the archer searches for freedom and meaning, they may find themselves trapped in cycles of dissatisfaction. This is the great irony of the shadow Sagittarius. Their quest for expansion can sometimes leave them feeling more confined than ever. The unfulfilled explorer doesn't evolve, they escape. Yet, even here, Sagittarius possesses a unique strength, the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. Every misstep is a lesson, every failure a stepping stone. The archer's expansive vision allows them to step back and see the big picture, transforming setbacks into opportunities for profound evolution. The positive manifestation of the explorer archetype is a call to action. It compels us to break free from societal norms, leave unfulfilling jobs or relationships, and carve our own path. The shadow becomes a guide when we embrace its message, urging us to explore not out of fear, but out of courage and curiosity. But balance is essential. Sagittarius must learn that sometimes the journey is not about discovering new horizons but appreciating the ones already within view. As much as the archer aims for the stars, they must also take moments to ground themselves and find stability. The journey is not just the destination, it is also the transformation. Chiron's story reminds us that pain and potential are intertwined. The explorer energy, when integrated, offers more than escape, it offers growth, perspective, and a richer, more meaningful life. The explorer within us all, a force for transformation, growth, and the courage to evolve. The modern seeker, Sagittarius in today's world. Today, the Sagittarius archetype manifests in countless ways. It lives in the scientists unraveling the mysteries of the universe, the artists diving into the depths of the soul, and the adventurers charting new frontiers. In our modern age, being a seeker means questioning not just external realities but internal ones. It's about challenging societal norms, exploring identity, and striving to align your life with your highest values. In every act of exploration, the spirit of Sagittarius lives on. Therapeutic Applications. Therapy offers a unique space for Sagittarians to harness their potential. Techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy ground their expansive thoughts, turning ideas into actionable steps. Depth psychology helps them explore their unconscious drives, revealing hidden truths about their desires and fears. Somatic practices, grounding exercises, movement therapy, allow Sagittarians to reconnect with their physicality, balancing their quest for meaning with the reality of the present moment. For the archer, healing is not a retreat from the journey. It's a way to make the journey sustainable, and infinitely more rewarding. Sagittarius within us all. Sagittarius is more than a constellation or a sign. It is a force within each of us, a spark of curiosity, passion, and unrelenting hope. So, wherever you are on your path, know this: the archer's spirit is within you. Its fire burns in your aspirations, its arrow flies with your courage. Embrace it. Steady your bow, aim high, and let your arrow soar toward the horizon. Let us each find our Sagittarius within, a guide to help us navigate the labyrinth of life, not with fear but with curiosity, optimism, and the unshakable belief that the journey itself is worth every step.
If you're as captivated by the ancient mysteries as we are, Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into myth and meaning.